and welcome to Narayana Educational Institutions. Today, we are delighted to have NEET 2026 All India Rank 563 Amrita Das with us. Congratulations, Amrita, on your incredible achievement, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Right. So, can you please introduce yourself to everyone watching us?
I'm Amrita and I studied at Narayana CO Kaveri Bhavan. It's in Bangalore.
Right. So, it's always nice and wonderful to see the face behind the rank. How was your reaction like when you got to know about your rank?
Honestly, I was very scared to open it initially. But when I finally did, I was relieved. I was satisfied. I think I was happy with what I got here.
You should be happy with what you got. Right. So, I always heard that every doctor has a dream or a story behind why they pursued medicine. Do you have a story as well?
Yeah, I have an interesting one. So it started with a fancy dress competition where I dressed up as a medical scientist, and since then, that's when my inclination towards medicine began. So.
That's a very interesting journey. Like the beginning of the journey was definitely not like anything I've heard before. Right. So when we take such a competitive examination, the last 30 days are really crucial. So how was your admission journey like during those final 30 days?
It's a very obvious strategy, but it's filled with tests and analysis, doubt clarification, and just revising whatever needs more sharpening.
Right, that's a pretty well planned approach. But how did you balance taking classes, going to the coaching centers, and then doing self studies? How did you balance all of that on your own?
I think it's stressful, but it's better to just not think about it and just go with the flow. And I think Narayana gives you the schedule that you have to follow, and you just end up doing it anyway.
Right, you did follow a schedule, but when it comes to different subjects, right, biology, physics, chemistry, all of those come up with their own set of challenges. So what was your approach like for each of the subject?
So biology is quite memory heavy. So that for me, I think repetitive, like repeated revisions is what strengthened my concepts in biology. And physics requires practice. So I did every single example question from our physics modules, the exercises. And chemistry is kind of a mix of both. So it requires repeated revisions as well as practice questions. Yeah.
Right. So preparation is one thing, but exam day pressure is something else. So how did you handle pressure, or how did you keep yourself calm and manage time during your exam?
So, well, firstly, I entered the exam hall with, I tried to calm myself down as much as possible. I was listening to music on the way to the center so that I stayed calm. And well, during the exam, my strategy was to finish what I know best. So that's biology, right? That's something that I can do quickly, and I'm familiar with it. So that I finished biology first, and then chemistry, followed by physics, which is a little time-taking, tricky, and sometimes unpredictable. So it's better to keep that for the end, at least for me.
I believe no success story is complete without the support of your loved ones. So Amrita, can you tell me, how did your parents support you in this NEET journey?
I think my parents, they had a pivotal role throughout my NEET journey. So whenever I was stressed or overwhelmed or scared for the next exam, I would always went out to them, and that always calmed me down.
Right, that's really heartwarming. But talking of support, why did you choose Narayana for your NEET examination journey?
Well, I'd always heard about Narayana from my friends, and what I really liked is the structure that they gave. So whenever I'd wake up in the morning, I'd always knew which chapters I had to study. We had weekly assessments. So there was never a question of, okay, what should I study today? Because I already had the schedule planned out for me. And I think that really helped me.
So you had a schedule planned by the Narayana team, but do you have a faculty member or multiple faculty members at Narayana who really helped you overcome challenges?
Everyone had some contribution, but I think for me the most memorable one is from my botany teacher, Basha sir. So he always checked up on me, whether my exam went well or not, how I'm doing, how I'm feeling, how my preparation is going. And there's always a line that he kept telling me, which stuck with me throughout. So he'd always tell me, Amrita, the next exam, you have to get a 700. So that always motivated me.
So, yes. So, mentorship is very, very important in a student's journey, but practice is equally important, right?
Right.
So, how did you practice with the help of Narayana?
So the Narayana study material given, the modules, they have abundant questions. I really like the example questions, especially for physics. I feel like obviously the questions in the final exam is not going to be the same, but the example questions really, they help you think or like develop a certain way of thinking which helps you tackle the questions in the final exam.
So, while preparing, did you develop any such habit that you want to carry forward for the rest of your life?
I think something that I developed is discipline. I studied every day, almost every day, which is not something I used to do before. So I hope I carry this forward, yeah.
I just hope you do that, you carry on the same habit as well. But talking about now that this chapter is finally done, what are you most excited about the next?
I'm excited to grow not just as a doctor, but as a person. And I think ultimately my goal is to make a difference. So I hope I achieve that through this field.
Thank you so much, Amrita, for joining us today and sharing your journey with us. It was lovely chatting with you, and we wish you all the very best and hope to see you as a very successful doctor. Thank you.
Thank you.